Welcome to the Manila Viper's Den. Listen close because the Philippine dating market isn't some tropical fairy tale. It's a high stakes casino where your heart is the collateral and your bank account is the primary target. Stop apologizing for your age because in this jungle, your gray hair is actually a VIP gold card. I'm giving you a surgical war manual in a 6 step list to dominate this game before it consumes you. You've been warned. Pay attention right now, or you'll end up just another Kano crying at the airport. You're likely 50 plus, maybe nursing a messy divorce, feeling like an expired product back home, where women look right through you. You've got a pension, some savings, and a ticking clock that's louder than your heartbeat. Here, that old man smell you fear is actually the scent of life infrastructure to a girl from the province. But don't get comfortable, Tito. If you don't learn how to leverage your maturity, you're just a walking ATM waiting for a sana all moment that turns into a permanent financial nightmare. Forget that Western egalitarian guilt they fed you. That creep shame is a poison designed to keep you lonely while we're over here looking for a foundational pillar, not a broke boy with a six pack. You are the silverback, the elite patriarch who brings order to our beautiful chaotic barangay life. Every zero in your bank account and every ounce of steel in your nerves is a strategic asset. If you play your hand right, the 30-year age gap isn't a penalty, it's your greatest tool for geometric leverage. I've seen thousands of guys like you land in Manila thinking they're in a rom-com, only to get budol budol by a girl half their age. The risk is real, honey. Financial ruin, emotional castration, and the pauper's trap. You want to be the captain of the ship, but most of you act like a lost tourist looking for a taxi. If you don't establish a natural hierarchy from the first kumusta, you'll be replaced by a local tambay the moment your wire transfer fails or your confidence wavers. Dating in the Philippines is like playing poker against a pro who knows your whole cards. Each decision you make is a high stakes pusta with irreversible losses if you flub the frame. You aren't buying time, you are leasing a reality to a partner who values the end game over your starting line. Stop being a simp and start being a senior with authority. The rules are finally rigged in your favor, but only if you stop playing by the nice guy handbook that failed you so miserably back in the West. We're going deep into the geometric leverage of the silverback revolution, and I'm not holding anything back. I've lived this. I've seen the foreigner tax destroy men, and I've seen the legacy build create kings. This isn't some generic self-help garbage. This is tactical survival for the man who refuses to go quietly into the night. Your birth certificate is a pass to a game of high-yield rewards, provided you have the guts to lead. Tell me, sugar, do you want love, sex, or survival? Let's look at the map of this urban war zone, Lolo. Rule number 1. You are the infrastructure premium. She's not looking for a boyfriend to post on TikTok. She's looking for a foundational pillar. Most of you land here acting like a tourist with a pension, throwing pesos at problems without a blueprint. Are you providing a paved runway or just a muddy track in the province? If you don't have a 5-year plan and health insurance, you're just a temporary ATM waiting for an inevitable system failure. Look at American Dave. He thought being nice and paying for Jollibee was enough. He had no life infrastructure, so while he was back home for 3 months, his girl was getting her fix from a local tambe with 0 pesos but high energy. Dave got flanked because he offered a handout, not a house. When you fail to build the structure, she'll find a younger guy to occupy the space you left empty. Do you really want to be the guy paying for a bed someone else is using? Now, check your flanks for the most common ambush, the tampo trap. Rule number 2 is the emotional de-escalator. At your age, your greatest sexual asset isn't your stamina, it's your bored reaction to her emotional storms. When she sulks or starts drama, do you panic like a hormonal teenager? A silverback is a deep water anchor. Surface waves move the boat, but they don't move the ship. If you react, you become her peer. And honey, in this market, peers are disposable, low value targets. Rule number 3 is the authority dividend. Stop asking where do you want to eat to be polite. That Western egalitarian garbage is a landmine in the Philippines. She wants a pilot in command, not a co pilot who asks for directions in a storm. Use a gentle command style. Tell her to be ready at 7. If you can't even pick a restaurant, how can she trust you to lead her family out of poverty? Hesitation here is interpreted as weakness, and weakness attracts predators. I've seen men lose their entire command frame because they were too afraid of being bossy. They ended up in the pauper's trap, consulted on every centavo until they had nothing left. If you don't establish a natural hierarchy from day one, you're just a passenger in your own life. You're being scouted every second, and any crack in your authority is an invitation for a total takeover. And believe me, sugar, this is just the easy level. The next error on my list destroys your wallet and your reputation. Now, let's talk about rule number 4, the wisdom arbitrage. You aren't just a boyfriend, you're a walking library in a culture that treats elders like royalty. Stop acting like a sugar daddy and start acting like a tactical map. While her local Tambay ex offers nothing but high energy drama and 0 pesos, you offer strategic guidance for her family's future. Are you providing a structural solution or just another handout? If you only give cash, you're a target. If you give wisdom, you're an essential resource, right? Pay attention because your biggest weakness is your craving for her validation. You're playing the taxi role, letting her drive the emotional route while you pay the fare. Rule number 5 is the sexual patience paradigm. You don't need to be a porn star, you need to be a gourmet chef. Young guys are like microwaves, fast, hot, and leave you hungry 10 minutes later. By slowing the game down, you build a psychological lock-in effect she can't find elsewhere. Why compete on stamina when you can dominate through detail and duration, sugar? She will test your consistency with a jealousy flare, pretending she's worried about other girls. Don't fall for the bait. This is a low-intensity conflict designed to see if you'll surrender your frame for her comfort. Are you the captain of this ship, or are you just a passenger waiting for her permission to breathe? Every time you apologize for something you didn't do, your authority dividend drops into the gutter. Keep your investment limits tight. Do you want to be her hero or her emotional doormat? Now, look at the legacy incentive, rule number 6. You represent a compressed timeline for a girl who's tired of the struggle. Show her the vault, let her see the life you've built, but never, ever give her the key until her loyalty is bulletproof. Position yourself as a fixed deposit account while the young local guys are just meme coins, volatile and ready to rug pull her entire future. If she doesn't see you as her ultimate retirement plan, she's already looking for a side hustle. Understand? The air is getting thin now, and most of you are starting to choke on the reality of the stakes. Decisions made in heat or loneliness carry a hidden tax that bankrupts your spirit before it touches your wallet. You think you're negotiating for love, but you're actually negotiating for survival in a market that eats hope for breakfast. Stop asking if she loves you and start asking if she respects your command. Because here's the dark truth. The game changes entirely when you stop negotiating with hope. Listen, sugar, we're done with the psychological foreplay. It's time to move from diagnosis to surgery because hope is not a strategy in Manila. You're sitting at the end of the runway right now, engine screaming, but you aren't cleared for takeoff until every light on my dashboard is green. I'm giving you the silverback framework, a binary, zero bullshit system to filter the gold from the garbage. Stop looking for feelings and start checking for functional alignment. If she doesn't fit the blueprint, you abort the mission immediately. Understand? Phase 1 is the liability filter. I don't care how maganda she looks in a bikini if her family tree is a forest of debt and Tambay cousins. You need a binary yes or no on 3 points. Is she currently employed? Is she debt-free? And does she have a passport? If she's missing even one, she's not a partner, she's a project. You aren't here to be a social worker for the province, Tito. You're a strategic patriarch. If the data is messy, you cut bait and run. Now, we run the compliance test. This is where you verify your authority dividend in real time. Give her a soft command. Tell her to meet you at a specific spot at a specific time without asking for her input. If she shows up late with a tampo face or tries to negotiate the location, she's testing your flight controls. A woman who can't follow a simple instruction during the honeymoon phase will definitely mutiny when the storm hits. If she fails the compliance check, she never gets to see the vault. Once she passes the filters, you determine her investment grade. Is she a fixed deposit or just a short-term speculation? Look at her utang na loob potential. Does she show genuine gratitude for the order you bring? Or is she just eyeing your pension? This is where you decide if she gets the legacy build or if she's just a seasonal guest in your condo. Never overinvest in a low-yield asset. In this market, your resources are finite, and misplaced loyalty is the fastest way to the pauper's trap. The final piece is the ejection seat. You must have a pre-planned exit strategy before you even sign a lease together. If the red flags start waving, you don't fix her, you replace her. The runway is long and there are millions of girls waiting for a captain who knows how to lead. Grab a pen and paper right now, sugar, because you need to memorize this checklist before we go into the field. In the next act, I'm showing you exactly how to execute this in the wild. Now, sugar, the air is thick with the smell of a brewing storm. You're at the table, and this isn't a slow dance anymore. It's a high-speed game of psychological ping-pong. The ball is screaming toward your face from 3 directions at once. Her mother needs surgery, her ex is lurking on Facebook, and she's giving you the cold shoulder in bed. Do you panic and swing wildly like a loser? If you react without position, you lose the point before your paddle even touches the ball. Stay icy. Look at the hospital crisis play. It's the ultimate pressure test for your liability filter. She's crying, saying Kuya needs 50,000 pesos right now. Your heart says be the hero, but your silverback manual says check the blueprint. Is this a structural repair or just another leak in a rotten roof? When you say no to the handout, but yes to a long-term solution, you aren't being mean, you're being a strategic patriarch. If you fold now, you're just an ATM with a heartbeat. Do you understand? Then comes the sexual strike mixed with a heavy tampo flair. She's testing your emotional de-escalator to see if your confidence is tied to her skirt. Most Kanos would beg or buy a gift to end the silence. Not you, Tito. You go to the gym, you grab a sandmeg at the bar, and you stay bored. When she sees that her emotional waves can't even rock your boat, the power shifts. She realizes you are the prize, not the petitioner. Are you ready to lead or just follow? I've seen the Sims surrender their frame during these peak stress moments, ending up broke and lonely in a boarding house in Olongapo. But when you hold the line, something magical happens. Utang na loob kicks in. She stops testing and starts nesting. By refusing to be a microwave, you've become the gourmet meal she can't afford to lose. The chaos settles because you provided the order. You didn't just survive the foreigner tax ambush, you conquered the market by simply refusing to play by her desperate rules. This is the climax of your evolution, where the boy dies and the silverback takes the throne. You've neutralized the local beta trap and secured the perimeter of your legacy. But don't start celebrating with a buko juice just yet, sugar. The most dangerous moment is the silence after the victory, when your guard drops and the hidden tax of success starts to creep in. I have one final brutal law that governs everything we've discussed. A sentence that decides if you stay a king or become a memory. Ready for it? You arrived here as a Kano with a heavy heart, but you're leaving as a strategic patriarch. We've covered the infrastructure premium and the emotional de-escalator. You aren't aging out, Tito. You're finally sitting at the high stakes table with the right chips. Your gray hair is a VIP card, and your silence is your strongest weapon. The 30-year gap isn't a penalty, it's the geometric leverage that turns you into a king. Stop apologizing for existing and start commanding your reality right now. Don't let the local beta trap or egalitarian guilt pull you back into being a simp. If you ignore these rules, you're just a walking ATM waiting for a budol budol disaster. The market is cold, sugar, and it eats hope for breakfast. You must choose the legacy build over the pauper's trap every single day. If you don't lead the barangay, the tambais will occupy your empty space. Your birth certificate is a pass to a game of high-yield rewards, provided you have the guts to lead. Remember the secret of the bee and the flower. A thirsty bee doesn't get the best nectar by buzzing around frantically. The flower opens only when the timing and the value are perfectly aligned. You provide the sunlight of order and the water of security, and she provides the bloom. Don't chase Tito. Attract through the sheer gravity of your command. Access is a consequence of your frame, never a reward for your desperation. Let the local boys be the flies. You remain the elite collector. You have your orders, so execute them within the next 24 hours. If this war manual saved your wallet and your sanity, hit that super thanks or hit the PayPal link below to keep the Viper's Den lethal. Like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, are you a captain or a passenger? Don't waste your silverback years being a spectator in your own life. The market doesn't care about your feelings, only your frame. Stay sharp, stay in control. Now go get your prize, sugar.